Let's talk about some more reports in the vendor's expenses area. Let's say that we're on the phone with a vendor and we're trying to find out what we've paid them and what we've been billed for. So in other words, we want to look at a history of our account with that vendor. We're going to show you two ways to pull up that history. Come here under the Maintain Pull Down menu and come down to Vendors. In here, let's pull in one of our vendors. Let's pull in Arbor Wholesale Suppliers. Let's come down here to this button. This window will show activity in the current period. It begins with a balance forward at the beginning of the period and then reflects any activity we've had during this period. We're in period 3, March of 2003. So we started out with a beginning balance of 2,600 and then we had 2 transactions. Now let's look at 2 other areas where we can see this information. Let's come over here to the History tab. Click here, and here we can see last invoice date, last invoice amount, last payment date, and last payment amount. So here's our March 31st activity. This month we've purchased $1,257.30. Let's go back to the previous window we were looking at. If we added these two amounts together, it would be the same. Notice our balance is $39.20. We have not made a payment to this vendor. Let's go to another area. This is actually the report that we prefer for this same information. Let's come here under Reports and come down to Accounts Payable. Let's pull up a Vendor Ledger report. Preview. Let's pull up Arbor Wholesale Suppliers again. And let's change our date range to all. Now, there's 2 reasons why we prefer this Vendor Ledger report over the previous 2. First, we can set a date range for any periods that are in Peachtree. We set it to all, so it's showing the last 2 years of activity. The second reason is that we can drill down on this report. So in other words, if I want to look at what this purchase journal was, I can double click on it and it'll pull it up. I can't do this under the Maintain Vendors window where we previously were. So this helps me. Let's say for example I'm on the phone with this vendor and I'm trying to figure out that we're reflecting, whether or not we're reflecting the correct balance. I can easily go between invoices and see and discuss with the vendor what our balance is. And that's why we prefer this Vendor Ledger report.